Hey, good evening, everybody. How's everybody doing? Hope you are well this evening. Sorry for the delay, but I'm excited to be joining you tonight to talk about this game called Urban Knights. And maybe we'll reminisce about the 70s a little bit. We'll get to rolling up the character here in just a second. Wait for some folks to come on in and hang out and be a part. And let's see. Make sure, because I know that there are people who will say that my mic is too low. My mic is right here. So hopefully people say, well, your mic is perfectly fine tonight, Paul. That's our hope. That's fingers crossed here. Fingers crossed. But welcome on in, everybody. Welcome in, welcome in. If you're here and you're brand spanking new and you're just kind of sliding across the YouTube ice, so to speak, and you kind of go, hey, what is this that is live? Well, my name is Paul. I am a professional dungeon master as well as a therapeutic game master. I've been a DM for probably 20 years. Been playing since Redbox in 1983, and so I'm just here to kind of share. And if you're brand new to the channel, never been here before, I hope that you'll consider subscribing, being a part. If you like videos about DM tips, world building, and all kinds of other shenanigans, like lives, just like this one. And if you're in the chat, welcome in the chat. Feel free to let me know that you are here and that you are a part. Glad that you're here. We're going to have some fun tonight. We're going to start. The game that I'm going to be talking about, by the way, is called Urban Knights. And let me see if I can bring that up for you here, just in case you have not seen the if you didn't see the post that I did. That's what I want to say. If you didn't see the post, this is what we're talking about right here. Urban Knights, and it's based on 70s cop shows or detective shows. And so this is going to be a lot of fun tonight. We're going to talk about this, and we're going to be rolling up a character. And so if you're excited for that, let me know in the comments. I'd like to know if you're old enough to remember the 70s. I was born in 68, so I was prime 70s. 1978, 10 years old, growing up in New York City, Brooklyn to be exact. And so I'm excited to just kind of reminisce a little bit, chat a little bit, talk a little bit. But I thought it'd be fun to talk about what are my top 5 TV crime detective TV shows of the 1970s. And so these are not in any particular order. I guess they are because they're, 4 through 2 or 5 through 2, you can mix them up a little bit. But my number one show that I enjoyed is at number 1 for a reason. So the other ones could be jumbled around a little bit. You can make a case for them. But the first one is this. One of my favorite shows that I would watch is Charlie's Angels. And listen, if you're a 10-year-old boy, listen, I know that all the juices weren't flowing at that point, but let me tell you something. There's something to be said when you see 3 beautiful women on television. Probably when I was 11 or so, things started to kick in. But Charlie Angels was fantastic. And I always liked Bosley. Bosley was a fun guy in there as well. And of course you had Farrah Fawcett. And this was just a fun show to tune into. And so that would be my number 5 pick of the TV shows, the kind of cop detective type shows. Number 4, Starsky and Hutch. I mean, listen, man, if you don't like some Huggy Bear, I don't know what to do for you. I can't help you. I can't help you if you don't like Huggy Bear. If you don't know who Huggy Bear is, you need to look for him, okay? Some of you that may be joining is saying, Paul, this is so foreign to me. I don't know anything about the 70s. It's okay. It's all right. It was a good time. And so, yeah, so Starsky and Hutch was a lot of fun. It had Huggy Bear, who was a pimp. It was in the show. This car was awesome. David Soul, Michael Glazer. Was it Michael Paul Glazer? Michael Glazer. Anyway, these guys were phenomenal. And the average, what I noticed about these shows, they lasted about 3 or 4 years. On average. Some a little bit longer, some a little bit shorter. But you know what? It was back in the day when it was like, this is, you had to tune in. There was no other way to watch it. You had to do it until VHS later came out in the 80s if you wanted it. But you had to just be home and watch the show. And so, if Starsky and Hutch came on at 7 p.m. on Tuesday or Thursday, well, listen, you were in front of the TV and you say, hey, it's time for Starsky and Hutch, man. And good show. Good show. And feel free, by the way, to leave me your favorite show, your favorite, if you grew up in the 70s. And maybe you did. Maybe you just like 70s, culture. You don't have to be born then to enjoy it. But leave that in the chat. And if you're watching this in the future, go ahead and leave me a comment down below. Your favorite cop detective TV show. All right, let's carry on. My third favorite is probably Beretta. And listen, Beretta, I love Beretta for various reasons. Beretta was it was a tough guy show. Beretta, I think, was a PI, and you had the bird. I can't remember the bird's name. I can't remember the bird's name. But if you ever watch Robert Blake, but this was bizarre. I mean, Robert Blake was like accused of killing people, about a decade ago. And anyway, he to me, like if you watched him on late night shows like Johnny Carson, you almost felt like this was like the original Joaquin Phoenix, that would give these interviews. It was just so strange or bizarre. And, but Robert Blake, man, he was, but you know what? Hey, Beretta is the deal, man. Good dude. Good dude as far as a character. I don't know anything about, he may have been a really bad dude in real life, but as far as the Beretta character, was top tier cop TV. And then we have Columbo. Shout out to Joe the Lawyer. Columbo. And so Columbo is just staple in the Turner home. Robert Falk was just like, you forget. Oh, I didn't know. And of course, I don't know till later that, Robert Falk is like an actor par excellence. These guys that wind up in TV and those things, we forget that they had lives. They were in like major movies. They were like movie stars and not just TV stars. And, when you had, Columbo playing himself in these different kind of funny kind of murder mystery shows, that kind of thing. It was fun to see him like parody himself in these movies. But anyway, one of my favorite movies that he was in with Alan Arkin was, now made me forget, all-time favorite comedy, The In-Laws. There we go. It was on my mind. Him and Alan Arkin, all-time favorite comedy. If you say, what's your favorite comedy, Paul? The In-Laws. It's just hysterical. Makes me roll every time I see it. And then last but not least is the Rockford Files. And the Rockford Files is just standard. Once again, you're talking about James Garner, a movie star par excellence, was the original Maverick, in the movies and in TV shows. And anyway, these guys doing TV, and you think, well, and you could feel like when James Garner was playing this, that he was much better, he was much bigger than the role. And it was always fun to watch him. And then, of course, then as you get older, you start going back into the catalog of somebody's career, and you go, oh my gosh, he was doing Rockford Files, but man, this guy was a movie star for decades. Was part of, groups of people that were just tremendous. And so Rockford Files for sure. All right, so we're going to jump into making a character here in just a second. And once again, if you jump into the chat, tell me who your favorite your favorite character is, from TV, TV cop shows, that kind of thing. Let me know. And then I want to let you know just a couple of things before we dive in here. My latest zine is out, Crit Happens, and it is The Land of the Gods from the Hex Crawl of Horror series. And I will drop a link in there that if you were interested in that at all, I hope that you are, that you can get it in my site. You can get it on DriveThru as well. Just look up Crit Happens and a zine, and I'll drop that right here. Let's see. I'll drop it right here. So you can get Land of the Gods. And this is a whole series that I'm doing based around this world of Kriesh that I am developing. And that brings up another thing here. I made some copies today. And something you get when you buy this is you get some maps. Now, this is my first map. This is my first map, so don't laugh. Don't laugh, okay? Don't laugh at my first map. This is what you're going to get. And I had it scaled to where if you want to make these in 11 by 17, you can. And I went ahead and had it done by 11 by 17. And once again, this map is not entirely finished, but it is printed out. And I'm going to, I have a couple of these. So one of these I'm going to draw all over because I still have some little places to put on here to flesh it out a little bit more. But once again, this is what you can get when you buy the Crit Happens. It comes with the maps. You can get them printed off in 11 by 17. And I'll show. This is the one. This one's got a little texture to it. I don't know if you can see the kind of the dirty map look there. Then I have one that is just clean. And I was going to get one. They did not do laminating there. These are really good to laminate. That when you put them out and you can draw over them, that kind of thing. And you can put stuff on there as you go if you need to. And then I put one with hexes on there. So if you want to go a little bit deeper into that, you have the hexes. I put the hexes on there, and you can do that. And then I made some with kind of a, little mappy kind of a look there. And so you can see that. I think you can see that. There we go. Maybe a little bit better. And then I made one with a mappy kind of look, but with hexes on it. So I try to give a lot of options. I try to give a little options if I can, because, listen, it's only $2. The zine is only $2. It's not like, you're paying $10 for a zine here. The zine average is 25 pages. There are some that are up to 55 pages. And so if you're interested in that at all, that will be, the link is there. The links will also be, they're also in the description there. You can do that. You can also get it as a bundle. And as a bundle, you will get, let's see, get them all over here. These are the zines you get right here. Well, let's see, not all of them, because some of them are not part of the Hex Crawl of Horror series. I think you'll get these right here. So, yeah, so that's, you get number 4, number 5. And number 4 is what kind of kicked it all off, is when I was designing it. And I just said, hey, I want to do something fun with Hex Crawl, something easy for me to understand. I wasn't designing it to teach anybody else to do anything. I was trying to come up with a formula, just a fun way to kind of say, hey, let's populate a few things, do a few things. And that's when I came up with Hex Crawl number 4, Hex Crawl of Horror. And now it's becoming a little setting, becoming a little world out there. And so if you're interested in the bundle, you're going to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You're going to get 7 zines. And technically, you're going to get one for free. So, because I always throw in a free one. So it's really just $2 cheaper, that way, in that regard, if you buy it by the Hex Crawl, buy the whole Hex Crawl bundle versus one at a time. Okay. And so, thank you very much. A shake from Sonic, not a sponsor, but a shake from Sonic. Thank you, Kim Turner. There we go. Sustenance. All right. Now, let's see. We're going to go ahead and jump in and make a little character here. So let me go ahead and share my screen here. Let me put the Hex Crawl bundle, by the way. Let me do that. I'll put the link in the chat. And then you can there we go. So if you want to pick up the Land of the Gods, you just play just get the single one. It has a little background in there. It has the world. It has the maps. If that's all you want, you can get that. Or you can get the whole bundle, which really fleshes out the world. There's all kinds of, there's cults, there's the undead, there's the witches of the blackened earth. There's all those kind of things. So I'm continuing to build upon it. And so June, hopefully June, I will have a very special one there. And if you are interested at all in getting the kind of the by the way, the other way you can get this zine is simply by being a member of the channel. So if you want to become a member, if you can become a first watch member, it's only 99 cents. You get the loyalty badges, you get the emoji, you get the Crit Happen zine. That's it. You get it's for 99 cents. You're basically getting the zine for half price. So if you want to just become a member, support the channel, you can do that. Access to early vids and posts, those kind of things. And then you can always, if you want to scale that up, you can become a Ember Keeper, which is $4.99 a month, and you'll get member-only videos, live streams, shout-outs, priority reply to comments, perks from previous levels, all those kind of things. You get all that stuff to go. All right, so let's go ahead and dive into creating a character here, and we're going to go step by step here. So this is not a review. You can let me know if you want me to do a review, but of the whole thing. But I'm just going to go through the character development process. So let me go ahead and get rid of a few things here, and then set it up. Here we go. All right. Here we go. And let's go ahead and fix this. Let me go ahead and do that. It just looks more natural when I do that. Okay, so the whole deal with this is you get to basically create your own character, your own. You can make a detective, and I'll give you some of the options here, and I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I have an idea for one, and let's see here. And the ones you can do the, let's see. There we go. All right, you can be the hardcore, the hard case. You're the cop that other cops are afraid of. You can be the crusader. You can be, when you hit the streets, you may as well be wearing a cape. You can be the blue blood. The job is in your DNA, born into the long line of cops. You went into the family business as expected. You can be the brains. The criminal mind is a mystery you're driven to solve. You can be the bad cop. Nobody knows what to make of you, including you. You can be the rookie, the fresh out of uniform, new to the detective's desk. You're enthusiastic, maybe a little out of your depth. You can be the old timer. You put in a lot of years and maybe on the verge of retirement. You're thinking, about the record you'll leave behind. You can be the PI, right? If you want to be Magnum PI, which I think is a little bit later than the 70s. Maybe that's 1980. Says you're a private investigator. Maybe you were a cop once, or you're a bored dilettante playing detective. You can be the professional, which is what I'm going to lean into. The professional. You're a skilled professional from a field that intersects with police work. You might be a lawyer, a medical examiner, and insurance investigator, which eventually I will maybe make a Quincy character, because I also liked Quincy. Quincy was, I still watch Quincy, like, was it Get TV? Great entertainment television. You watch that and go, hey, Quincy, man. All right, so those are some of the options. Oh, there's a couple more. The outsider. You're not even a cop or a detective, but you've been pulled into their world of crime and criminal investigation. And then you're the criminal. Okay, so you're not exactly on the straight and narrow. In fact, you're technically one of the bad guys. So, if you're going to be a criminal, I guess you'd be a criminal. Somehow is involved. Maybe you're a snitch or something like that you work, with the cops somehow. So you're a criminal, but, kind of like Huggy Bear from Starsky and Hutch. He was a pimp. And he was an informant in a lot of ways, He kind of, everybody kind of just kept their business to themselves, in doing things. So, all right. So let's go ahead and look at the characters here and the things you're going to do. All right, so the first thing is they tell you that you have 4 points that you can deal with. 4 points. Oh, let me tell you, the character that so what are you thinking about, Paul? What's your thought on this? Well, I'm going to tell you. I am going to make Black Belt Jones. I woke up like at 4 o'clock in the morning. And of course I'm like, well, what's on? First it was 3 the Hard Way, which was Jim Kelly and I can't remember the other guys' names. But anyway, 3 the Hard Way. And then there was, after that was Black Belt Jones. And if you're familiar, you'll remember this little tune here. Keep it low. Maybe I'll get past. Maybe I'll get. I don't monetize the live videos. But if you know this song, this theme, then you have lived a good childhood. You are. And there is a scene in this movie that's just, you just look it up on YouTube, where somebody is flicking the lights on and off, and he is beating the tar out of a bunch of guys. So I'm going to make my character around Black Belt Jones. That's what I'm going to do. All right, so that's the concept, and I'm going to nuance it. So I'm going to be the professional. And my idea is that Black Belt Jones here, in fact, I'm going to go ahead and write Black Belt Jones on here. Let me go ahead and put some text on here. All right. So let's be Black Belt Jones. That's his nickname. We don't know what his real name is, maybe. I don't know. But he's going to be Black Belt Jones. Archetypal role. Excuse me. We'll put that there. I'm sorry. Let me go. Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. Put Black Jones will be the character name, and then he will be, archetypal role will be the professional. And he is going to run a dojo in a bad part of town. I think that's, and he's going to occasionally train the police. So basically, police officers go there to get some training from him. That's his connection to the police department. And then sometimes they ask him to come along on things. So just in case, off the books, of course, off the books. All right. So the professional. All right. So now, according to this, they're going to say, okay, you have 4 points to allocate to, let's see here. You have 4 points to allocate to skills when attempting action relevant to one of your skills. Now, this is built, by the way, if you watched our episode, if you watched our WHGTV Fairhaven, or WHPA, I want to say. That's not it. It's not the right letters, not the right call letters. But if you watched our thing where the guys and us, Tim and Vance and Mike, all played these kind of characters, these what do I want to say? Cable guys, right? These like cable outlets. They would have these cable network channels like in the basement of their home, like Wayne's World, right? So anyway, this has very similar. It's not written by the same people, but it's written by who's it written by? It's written by C. Michael Hall. C. Michael Hall. Make sure I got that correct. Yep, C. Michael Hall. And he didn't write the other one, but it's very similar in the looseness of how you roll the dice and how you play. And feel free, by the way, if you want to know anything about the game, you can ask questions. Happy to answer questions. And so we're going to start with, you start with 4 points. And, each of your attributes all start with 1. So if you're going to start with 1, let me just go ahead and put 1 here just for the sake of doing it and putting there. Okay, so you're going to start with 1 point. And then you're going to add to that as you go. So you automatically start with 1. This is a D6 system, by the way. So the number in your physical, mental, social is how many dice. So you create a dice pool and you roll that many dice. Okay? And so you go ahead and you put your skills, right? Your skills represent the training and expertise in specific areas of expertise you have. Your PC draws upon them. Despite being subject-specific, skills are still pretty broad. Conceptual speaking, for instance, the fight skill is the same for boxers, wrestlers, kung fu experts, and the build skill is the same as for welders, woodworkers, bricklayers, and those kind of things. And so there are 15 available skill points. And here's what you can. I imagine you can figure all that out. But I'm going to have 15 available skills. I'm sorry, there are 15 available skills that are there. And it's going to give me, like I said, I started with 4 points. I'm sorry, I started with 1 point in each of the attributes, physical, mental, and social. And then you have 6 more points to allocate to your PC attributes, okay? So to make this character, I have 6 more points. So what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to allocate 3 points to physical. So that will give me 4 points max. And that will be 4 points for that. So that would give me a dice pool of 4 that I would use for that. And then, let's see, I'm going to use 3. I think I'm going to go 3, 2, 1. So I'm going to add 2 to this, which will give me 3 in mental. And then I'm going to do 3, 2, 1, which will give me 2 in social. And in watching Black Belt Jones, he's very social in that regard, if you watch the movie. And I wish I could give him more because I think his charm is about as good as his physical. He's about as good as at kicking butt as he is smiling at people and getting his way with them. And then I'm going to do a circle here because then you're going to pick. I'm going to go ahead and pick what I'm going to make, kind of my major. What's going to be my major? A major thing there. And let's see. I'm going to go with nimble. Is going to be my thing that I'm going to focus on there. For mental, I'm going to be, what am I going to be? Perceptive. Because I'm going to pick up on things. Because I'm streetwise. I am streetwise, all right? And then I have, for social, I'm going to be charming. And my charm does not always work. So this is where I become a lesser version of Black Belt Jones. Because everything works for Black Belt Jones, because he's got all the skills, and I don't have very many. So what that's going to do is it's going to give me an extra die in that pool. So if I'm using 4, that's 4 in the dice pool, and I get 1 more for nimble. So I'm going to use nimble if I'm doing something that requires that. If I'm doing something physical, I can say, well, I need nimble and make a case for that to the game master or to the, what do they call the director? Maybe the director is who runs the game. But yeah, you have nimble, and so you would have a dice pool of 5, and you have to basically roll 5s or 6s to achieve something, to be able to go ahead and do it. And there's a pose. I'm not going to get into all the rules. I just want to make a character tonight. If you want me to go into the rules, like deep dive, comments down below. Leave stuff in the chat. Let me know. I'll do a separate video if you're interested. Okay. Now. I have the 15 skills, and I'm going to get 4 points I'm going to get 4 points for my skills. Um, let's see, one more note on the attributes. It says you can create a balanced character if you like, or focus on one or two areas at the expense of another. The ratings will allow you to add additional dice to your dice pool when attempting actions. So the higher an attribute is rated, the more likely your character will rely upon it, and so forth. Okay? All right. So, let's see. We go through there. Now, we got skills, and I'm going to have, like I said, I think I'm going to have 4 points for skills. So where am I going to put my 4 skills? And here's the example. It says, let's say Detective Joe Sharkey, which is a perfect 70s cop name. Detective Joe Sharkey is searching for a room for clues, and he has his standard dice pool of 2d6. So you're always going to have 2d6. You're always going to have your 1 that you have, and you're going to have, your attribute or whatever. So you're always going to have 2 no matter what. You just have to get a 5, 5 or 6 on those dice. And then this bonus stacks with your other bonuses. But let's go ahead and say that Joe Sharker is searching a room for clues. He has a standard dice pool of 2d6 plus 1d6 for his perception, 3d6, and another 1d6 for his point in spot. And when he searches the room, he'll roll 4d6 total. He may also add this to a dice pool by spending attribute points, but we'll save that for later. So you can spend attribute points as well. That's a whole another rule thing, which I like. It's a great little mechanic, and I think it makes you as a character, as a player, about your character, makes you think a little bit. Oh, do I want to use this? Then I won't be able to do that later, but I really need it now. So, you go from there. So I have 2, 3, I have 4. So let's go with 4. I'm going to do 2 in fighting. So I'm just going to copy this here. I'm going to do 2 in fighting. Let's see if I can make that a little bit smaller. There we go. And a little smaller. Okay. So 2 in fighting. And then we're going to have, he's got to be good at fighting. I mean, he's Black Belt Jones. And then I'm going to give him 1 in sneak. We'll duplicate that and give him a sneak. And then the other one I'm going to give him, what am I going to give him? I'm going to give him schmooze because of his charmingness. So we're going to do that. So that gives me 2. So then I can then say, look, if I do a thing, right, I can add, skills. So I can add to my number here. I have a fighting skill, so I can add 2 dice for that. If I'm sneaking around, I can add 1 dice to my, to my perception if I'm doing that, or schmooze. So I think you get the point. You're building a dice pool. Now, some other things I was thinking about. These dramatic tools that you have, these dramatic hooks, these are meant to give you, and this is, I noticed that this is a mechanic in Lord of the Rings, which I've run a couple of times, is that you have a background that you can tap into, and I think you can use this in any role-playing game, but I was just thinking of Lord of the Rings, that you have a background that says, okay, how can I use this to add 1 more dice to the dice pool, right? So in this case, I'm going to say that Black Belt Jones has a brother in a gang. Okay? He's got a brother in a gang. So what these are meant to do is not just, they'll give you, yes, bonuses, but they're also hooks to help, further a story. Like maybe my character's brother is in trouble, and now I have to talk to the police department about getting him out, or I got to go in there and kick butt and kick all these, gang guys' butts or whatever. But I need help. So where am I going to go? Where am I going to recruit from, right? And then I'm going to say there's a rival dojo across town. A rival dojo. And the master there has it in for me. Could be a former student. Could be, could be anything. Could be a former student. Could be my ex-wife, which I thought would be an interesting thing. I thought to myself, oh, what if my ex-wife ran a thing there and she hates me? Maybe she's part of it, like an assassin group or something now. We don't know. But we'll carry on. So we have a rival dojo. And then I'm going to put in there the rent is always due. Because then that's, I'm always hustling for money. I have to take these jobs, and I have to do these jobs because I need the money, because I have to pay the rent for the dojo. Because the kids, people, the kids. I'm doing this for the kids. All right, so the rent is always due. All right, the rent is always due. And if I can use one of these to, add another dice pool, then you can do that. Now, what is my edge, right? This is also another way to add dice to the dice pool. So if my edge is that I am a black belt. I'm not just any old karate guy. I'm a black belt, Some of these guys, like in Black Belt Jones, some of these guys thought they knew karate, and they did know some of it, but they're not a black belt. You can know karate. You can know some moves. But Black Belt Jones is not Black Belt Jones for any, that's not just a cool name. He is a black belt. If he did not have a black belt, I would not call him Black Belt Jones. All right, so black belt. That is my edge. Okay? And then you begin to build out a character based on this, and I think this is pretty much it. I mean, that's oh, by the way, I get how many wounds do I get? I think I get 4 wounds, which is the same as my strength. So I get 4 wounds. And then the luck, there's I get 3 luck, I believe. Okay? And then I can tap into that luck. So basically that's like, Benny points or luck in Shadow Dark or whatever. But you get 3, which is a lot. And then there's like a pool of other things you can get into. There's a lot going on, to be honest with you. There's a lot going on in this game. I don't know if I would use every little thing in this game. I think I would just scale it down just a little bit, depending who's playing. Because of there's just a lot of moving parts if you want to build your dice pool. But it's pretty simple, and it spells it out all in the instructions. The chapter on building your characters maybe 1, 2, 3, 4 pages. So create your character. You got 4 pages. Boom, you're done. And then the rest of the book is pretty cool. It has lots of great mechanics in it. Has a lot of cool stuff in it. And yeah, so I think that's it. I think we have made a character. And I moved Black Belt Jones over. Come over here, Black Belt Jones. You got to get over there. But yeah, so that's it. That's Urban Knights. Just making a character. It's a lot of fun. I think it's something I want to run. We may do it here on the channel. So if you're not a subscriber and you say, Paul, I'm interested in that kind of thing, well, be sure to go ahead and subscribe to the channel, and you'll get cool stuff like this. You say, but Paul, I would like to play this. Well, let me come over here, and I'll tell you other things. But that is Urban Knights. And if you were interested in all, like I said earlier, that I am a professional Dungeon Master, and I would like to run games for you. Let me go ahead and give you a link to my site over on Start Playing. So if you say, Paul, I would like to book a game with you, let me get rid of Black Belt Jones there. Get over there. And let me give you a link there. That if you were interested in all and say, hey, Paul, I'd love to play at your table, and maybe you're already a member of the channel, you say, hey, it's a great way to support the channel and support the things that I'm doing if you're interested in that. And you can check out the games that I have there. So there we go. You have the Start Playing link. That link will be down in the description as well. And I'm also going to leave, if you say, Paul, I'd love this game. Yes, please. May I have this game? Yes, you may. And I will go ahead and leave a link here as well say, Paul, I'd like to buy that for myself. And I am an affiliate, so if you are, once again, wanting to support the channel, a few pennies come my way if you purchase this through Drive-Thru RPG. So that's going to be in the chat as well. Link will also be in the description. But yeah, but that is it, guys. I hope that you guys enjoyed that. It was fun to call back some memories. It was fun to think about old detective shows. And I think Urban Nights, it may be something I bring with me. I'm going to North Texas Con this year. That'd be something I'd play late night. I'd come up with some pre-gen characters and just play it at the table and just say, who wants to play? Here's your character. Let's go, right? But that's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you being a part tonight. Leave me some comments down below. Does this sound cool to you? Is this something you'd want to play? What kind of character would you make? Would love to know what kind of character you'd make in this game. Would it be based on, an actual TV cop? Or do you have another idea? Leave me some comments down below. That is it for tonight, everybody. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. Have a great week, everybody. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.